Welcome to Real Talk with Chris, the podcast where we dive into the entrepreneurial mindset through the lens of real estate. We are uncovering the secrets to building success and creating wealth on your own terms. Whether you're just getting started or aiming to scale, this is the place where ambition meets opportunity. Get ready for real talk and real results. Let's get after it. Oh, welcome to Real Talk. We're excited to have guests on here every week, and this is episode, I think, 52. So we're pumped. Welcome back. Thank you for those that are always tuning in and hearing this podcast. And for anybody that's new out there, welcome to the channel as well. It's Entrepreneur Mindset here. We're forward thinkers, basically bottom line badasses. And we definitely are all about building business, building yourself, elevating, evolving, growing through mindset, through physical, and now which is ironic because I'm introducing an amazing guest today, which is we're going to showcase someone that we've added to our Trinity of Transformation. Yes, it's our trifecta that we've gone on. Kara and I have been doing this for a while, since December of 24. And we've been playing this thing out. Now we're 6 months into this thing, and we want to take it to the next level. So we brought in this amazing individual who is very well versed in life in all aspects, not just one. She's great at nutrition, health, mindset, balance, energy, you name it, she's a part of it. And not only that you can see it visually. She's the person who emulates everything she talks about. You know, you talk about people out there in the podcast, people that say things and talk about stuff, and all you should do is do that. But then you look at them and you're absolutely like, what the heck? Who is this person? And absolutely, yeah, you don't fit the mold of what you're saying. Coach Angelica Dilly fits the mold. So we're excited to have her on the showcase today. And the idea behind it is we really want to get to the root of understanding who she is and what she's about. And everybody gets to know Coach Angelica. So welcome to the show, Coach Angelica. We're excited to have you.
Thank you. You can just call me Coach Ange. I feel like Angelica is so, just say Ange. Just say Ange.
Coach Ange. I know, right? Coach Angelica sounds almost kind of angelic, like you're a princess.
But I'm not. Yeah, so we'll just, we'll go to it.
All right.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited for our upcoming event in Oahu, Trinity of Transformation, mind, body, business, all the things. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And I love, first of all, I love the beginning of your podcast and just how much you pour into your team and entrepreneurs out there. But I think that why you brought me on was like, there's a lot of strategy for business and there's a lot of things that we can do and learn. But it's like, what about the mental health and the emotional health and the physical health and how that plays into you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, right? I think that often gets left out when realtors are trying to build their empires and sell all these houses and they're hustling. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the hustle, but can we do it in a healthy way where we're not getting burnt out? And that's really what what I feel like one of my missions is on this earth, is to help people become more wealthy, but in a healthy way, in an aligned way, where they still feel amazing and energetic and confident in their bodies, where they like what they see when they look in the mirror, where they're not relying on caffeine all day, like doing it in a way where you can have both. You can have the business and you can have the body and the health.
That's awesome, because in reality, at this point in the game, most of us consider that a myth or kind of a unicorn. It doesn't exist. Kind of like saying work-life balance doesn't really exist either, because when you're usually chasing a dream or building an empire, there really isn't a balance there of time. And usually when you lose your time, you lose this ability to really pour into yourself, like you're right, through health-wise. People cut corners constantly, right? Because you're limited on time. So you eat crappy stuff. That's kind of how life works in this business. So I have many friends, myself included, who've been in this business for 26 years and literally have gone down rabbit holes of, oh my gosh, it's been like time frames of eating completely horrible because I had zero time in my life to do anything, to cook meals, to have time. Then my relationships got worse. My health got worse. My outlook got worse. My energy got worse. Yeah. Vicious cycle. So here we are. So for you to,
it doesn't happen if you make it one of your non-negotiables, no matter how busy you are, no matter what season of life you're in, it doesn't need to happen. I know that because I'm an entrepreneur myself. I run 2 businesses and I work with all really crazy busy people. So it's all what you make of it, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, because we don't all have the same exact 24 hours. Some people have multiple children that they're dealing with, right? Some of us are doing more in the entrepreneurial sense. So we don't all have the same. And I don't believe that there is ever going to be a perfect work-life balance. But what I do believe is that you can have, confidence and alignment in your body and feel good in your health and still thrive in your business. You don't have to choose. You're choosing to choose that. You're choosing to just put yourself on the back burner and pour into everyone and everything else. Can you wake up half hour earlier? Can you take a 5-minute walk? Can you, all these little things. So I guess I should probably also give people kind of a background of like how I even got into this, or like, who is this chick?
Yeah, totally.
So
Let's do that too.
I'm originally from Long Island, New York. I come from a background in pharmaceutical sales. So I understand the hustle, especially real estate agents, because you guys go from houses to houses or meetings to meetings. And I went from doctor's office to doctor's office, right? So living out of my car, except in the back of my car was a whole bunch of drugs. And in the back of your car is a whole bunch of signs, right? So
that's not a bad thing right now. A bunch of drugs. Some people might like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Right. So, but I understand that drive and that hustle, which I think is why I end up coaching a lot of realtors, and I love the energy of realtors. So yeah, that was my background. I was 40 pounds overweight. I was really overweight, had severe acne, very depressed my entire life into my late 20s. I couldn't take it anymore when I was 27, and I decided to hire a coach. I was like, I can't, like, nothing in my closet fits. I feel disgusting. I didn't feel good. Not just like I hated the way I looked. I felt so exhausted, like burnt out. My skin was just, I just was honestly disgusting. I was miserable. So I hired a coach. I lost 40 pounds. It was while I was on that journey that something just kind of gut punched me. I was like, you need to do this. Nope. You need to leave pharmaceutical sales. You need to help other people, not just lose weight, but just really find joy and happiness in their health, in their bodies, in their lives overall. And I did. I got certified in fitness and nutrition and coaching and all the things. I moved from New York to California, started out as a personal trainer. And while it was good and great, it wasn't fulfilling me. Like just telling people what to do in the gym. I was like, no, I meant for more. And that's when I left the gym and created my online coaching program called the Align Method. And now we help people all over the country become not just physically fit, but mentally fit, emotionally fit, and also all of the people we work with, all the clients end up making more money because they have more energy, they're thriving, and they actually have more time back in their day because they're paying attention to different things, right? So yeah, so that is a little bit of background on me. And I'm sure for those of you listening, if you've ever felt that calling, it's scary to make that jump. Like I moved from New York to Cali with no job lined up. I was just following my intuition that this was what I was meant to do. And it's really been my life's work ever since.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I think that's the best things ever taken is the risk you take, right? Jumping off a cliff and figuring out how to fly on the way down. Most people that are like that end up doing really big things in life, by the way. They make the most impact on people's lives when they're doing things at a very, very high level of risk like that. So moving from New York to California, big cultural change too, East Coast, West Coast. And then how did you actually end up landing in Hawaii?
Oh, right. I forgot to mention that. Actually, and the cultural change from New York to Cali, I welcomed it because I hate the cold. I hate snow. I hate crappy weather. I love the Cali life. I love the sun. Actually, Cali wasn't warm enough for me. That's how I ended up in Maui because Cali has some weird weather when you live by the beach. It's like gray a lot. So yeah, I've always loved Maui. I visited a lot from California because it's an easy flight. And then I actually visited when I lived in New York. So I really believe, like, from a spiritual sense, I've been planting seeds here for years before I moved here. And me and my husband came on a trip in like 2018. And I said, like, half kidding, would you ever live in Maui? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, okay. We got back to California. I was like, let's move to Maui because I just moved my business online. I was like, once I moved my business online and I got rid of anyone that I was coaching in person, I was like, oh, I could live anywhere in the world. Of course, I would love to live in Italy, but that time difference coaching people would be really difficult.
Really bad,
but like with Maui, I was like, oh, okay, sure. I'm a little bit, 6 hours to the East Coast, whatever, but it's just, why not? Why not? And I feel living in Maui, sure, there's a downside of living in Hawaii, as you know. Maui can be a little bit isolating in the sense there's not a big entrepreneurial network out here. But from a health perspective, from healing my nervous system and connecting me more to the Aina and the earth and the beautiful land, that's been really amazing for me. But I'm so happy to team up with you and Kara and some new connections I have in San Diego to get off the island and build my business in a different way. Because having an online business is great, but I started to miss the in-person. So that's why I get so excited to do this event with you guys and to go speak at other places because, yes, online is great, but like there's nothing like that in-person connection.
100%, which is exactly why we created the You Matter series, ideally, because we were missing that element of community, culture, collaboration, right? Yeah. The energy needs to be, I think more than enough right now, every human being is looking just to connect to something. We want to connect. We're missing that.
And in-person events too. Yeah. And ironically, I'm staring at my vision board, which I made the end of 2024. I actually don't wait until like December. I think I did in September. And in the middle, it says connect with others, like
Mhm.
collaboration, connect with others. And it's like, I've just been meeting so many people like you and Karen. I just got off the phone with another amazing woman in Santa Barbara that I'm going to be doing an event with. And it's like, it's all coming to fruition. And for those of you listening, if you don't believe in manifestation, it is a real thing if you take
No.
the line of action, for sure. So I just think it's so beautiful. And I do think that, especially post-COVID, humans are craving in-person connection. You know, we live in a world where we're all glued to our phones and everything. And look, I love my online business. I'm not complaining about it, but we do need to connect in person and to feel each other's energy and have that thriving sense of community.
Yeah. I think there's a better connection of solidifying the information and the content at a higher level, obviously being in person versus over a Zoom, right? Like you can coach and train people over this Zoom thing, but the real connection when you're there, like you said, like we were talking before we got on the call here, that little thing you got behind you, that little energy bomb or like gong thing. And that. And I'm like, that obviously doesn't even work on Zoom. As you just said, you can't even hear it on Zoom. But there's a reason why. You need to be in person to feel the energy. It's important. So we're going to really hinge on that and actually elevate and grow from that and evolve on this. Adding you to this 3-piece is amazing because what Karen and I have been doing so far, this is exciting. Let's get into a little bit more. Obviously, people are listening to this. They hear what you said about, your journey, where you started and all the things you went through, moving from New York to California, and how you said you were 40 pounds overweight, your clothes didn't fit. Cool. It's all great. What does this actually look like now, though? Because obviously we can say there's probably a lot of people out there right now online or in the space that say they're doing maybe something similar to you're doing, right? That I'm helping you, coach you through this, that, and the other. Let's talk about what you're doing.
Yeah. I believe that our program is very different for many reasons. There are nowadays, especially, so many health coaches and health programs out there.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot come and go. A few of the main differences in the way I coach and things I believe in is, first of all, I don't just believe in order to lose weight or feel good. It's not just like being in a caloric deficit. It's not just about tracking your macros and the protein, the fats, and the carbs. As human beings, we're so much more complex as individuals. On a cellular level, we're coded with things that happened to us when we were in our mother's womb. Our gut health is formed when we were in our mother's womb. We have imprints from things people said to us, things we heard, people we spend time with, things we heard growing up or in school, any type of trauma or stressors we have. So when we work with individuals in our coaching program, we look at people as a whole. We look at their dieting history. We look at their history of stress. We look at their relationships. We look at the way they eat and the movement they're doing, but we go deeper than that because it's not just about the workouts and the nutrition, which a lot of coaches will say. And I'm not saying that the movement and the nutrition is not important. That is a piece of it, but it really is about metabolic alignment, looking at the gut health, looking at the hormones, looking at chronic stress, looking at your lifestyle. How do you talk to yourself? What thoughts are you thinking on a daily basis? We have 80,000 thoughts a day, right? Are they mostly negative? Yes, for the average person. And that impacts your body. So really going so much deeper and also addressing the nervous system, especially for realtors or entrepreneurs listening. Like you said, go, make the money, hustle, check the box, on to the next, and like your nervous system is literally in overdrive. You are living in fight or flight. So we address that as well, getting your body to a place of homeostasis, getting you out of fight or flight, calming you down so you feel better, so you release the weight, so you're just showing up with more energy and in a more abundant state. Because if you're operating out of fight or flight, everything is constricted. Your brain, your gut, your body, like everything is tightly bound, and you can't show up as your best self when you're operating that. You can't make decisions as effectively as a CEO. It just trickles into every area. So yes, while I believe in nutrition and movement is a part of your journey for your body, the gut health optimization, the metabolic alignment, and the nervous system recalibration and the deep mindset work from an emotional standpoint is vital.
That's a big chunk to swallow. It's like a fire hose you just drank out of right there. So that's a whole lot for people, right? Literally, it's like dropping a bomb. And let's be honest, most people probably don't even tap into any of that, right? We're just kind of like, I feel like we're zombies walking on this planet through life, and we're probably a lot dysfunctional, if we're being honest. That's a nice word, dysfunctional. And,
and dysregulated.
Yeah. It's regulated. Yeah. And at the same time, though, it's like, how many of us are missing that next, like, wow, living the real life, like taking the dream and turning it into a reality, believing that it can be possible by tuning in all these things that you just mentioned, like almost like a radio or amplifier or an EQ. You tune everything in just right, and you get the most amazing sound out of those speakers. If you turn it all down, it sounds horrible and nothing comes to the speakers good. So
Right.
I think you're adding all these elements that you're talking about is going to be a great addition to us, by the way, of things we're already doing with Karen and I, to really get kind of more granular and a little bit more down in the weeds of understanding, all right, well, if you do this, this, that, and the other, this leads to that, this fixes this is a promotion of that, that's a proponent of that. So we can add it. And I believe everything, I'm a huge person. It all starts with here in your mind. Everything starts in your mind, right? Because the choice to even like listen to you, the choice to even take in what you're saying, the choice is a choice. I could choose not to do anything. And which is why I would probably stay 50, 100 pounds overweight, unhealthy, bad gut, bad relationship, bad business, bad everything.
Yes. We're always one decision away from change, right? And like everything I said, it's a lot. Doesn't mean you tackle everything at once. You pick one small thing and then you pick another small thing. And it's all about, I was on a podcast, actually, we talked about this. It's not like, okay, now I need to do all these things to heal my gut. It's like, you're going to pick one thing and then you're going to pick another thing. You're just going to add it on. It's a compound effect, right? Nice. Greatness isn't from like, right? Like, let's just use this basic example. You don't go to the gym one day and get a nice booty. You go over and over and over, right? I don't meditate once and suddenly I'm calm and I'm Buddha, right? It's over time. So just, if you're listening, you're like, whoa, this is a lot of things I need to work on. Take a breath, pick one thing. Maybe you're like, oh, wow, she's right. I've really been really burnt out. I'm really exhausted. What's one thing I can do that will bring me joy, that will take me out of this exhaustion? Okay, maybe it's saying no more. No is a complete sentence. Maybe it's creating a stronger boundary. Maybe you're pulled in too many directions and you need to know what to say no to. Like, it could be something so simple. And this is also why working with a coach or a mentor is vital, because a lot of times when you're in it yourself, you can't even like see what to do. Yeah. You know, so like sometimes my coach will call me out on stuff. I'm like, precisely. Exactly. Right. Like thank you. Ourselves is like really hard to see sometimes.
Yeah. No, I get it. Well, that's why the teacher is always there. The best way to learn is to teach. And so as you continue to teach and showcase all the stuff you know you're really good at, you also are learning and evolving yourself, which is the same way for me. I love doing it. Awesome. So now your coaching and training stuff, is it like you said, no, you kind of find one thing. So I'm assuming that you're kind of a consistent, like a whole entire regimen of a series of kind of trainings, or what do you have? What does your program and training kind of look like? Yeah.
Yeah. So our typical program is 6 months long. A client will come in, we'll do an in-depth intake form with them, orientation with them, ask them tons of questions about their lifestyle and what they're looking to achieve. Then we build a customized program for them. And then they're in constant communication, whether they're working with one-on-one with me or one-on-one with my coaches, phone calls, messaging, attending trainings. We do breath work, we do meditation, we do mindset coaching every week. So, you know, it's like a refrigerator. You plug in, you're going to get results. You don't plug in, you're not going to get results, right? Follow the protocol. Every person's protocol is unique, right? You're going to eat different than the way she eats, he eats, right? Everyone's different. So, but yeah, it's an ongoing coaching. And also keep in mind that habits take 16 to 18 months to form. So it's not sure the program is 6 months, but typically people will stay longer because we're really helping them permeate these habits. And this is why so many people lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, start and stop, because they haven't permeated their habits. They haven't made it part of who they are. We want to help you make it part of who you are so you don't keep reverting back to the things that are holding you back. And that takes also deep subconscious programming, reprogramming.
It's so ironic that everything you're saying really falls in alignment with being a realtor. It's insane. Like, the habits are everything. Habits are ritual, peoples. You got to commit to a process. The process is everything.
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Everything.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh gosh. How you show up here is how you show up out there. I'm a firm believer of that. So this is going to be amazing for them to be able to get this entire merge of what you're bringing expertise to the table of all these different energies and angles and thoughts and ideas, concepts that can help enhance and grow yourself in every area of your life, by the way, not just one. And then allowing us to really control, like bringing in the business side of it, where we're bringing on since the last 6 months, and Kara with the whole energy piece too. This is going to be huge. And now, as far as like all of the clients you have right now, you're obviously constantly working with evolving clients all over the country. I'm guessing not just here. What is that like? So are you guys have these, can you share some of these like testimonies of some people that you're working with, you've been working with? Is that possible? I don't know if you can share clients you're working with and kind of some of the things you're doing.
I can give you an example of a realtor that came to me she lives in New Hampshire. She did okay last year, but definitely not where she wanted to be. And she also was extremely burnt out. I mean, she got so burnt out that she was sick in the hospital and still answering messages from clients because she was afraid she was going to lose a freaking deal. No boundaries. So when she told me these stories and came to me, I was like, the first thing we're doing is helping you create boundaries. There's some clients that you're just going to need to say no to. The money isn't worth it. You close one door, another one opens. So work on the mindset, work on the boundaries. We also worked on her energy around money and lack because she was very fearful. I mean, if you're sitting in the hospital answering messages from potential clients, you're living in lack. Like you're so stressed out that you're going to lose a deal. So working on her relationship with self and money, connection to universe, source, God, whatever she believes in. I believe it, everyone's different. And through the work, I talked to her, I think it was a few weeks ago. She's like, I am so overloaded with referrals. She's like, they just keep pouring in. I'm like, look at that. So just a complete energy shift. Of course, along the way, she's released weight. She's much slimmer. She has some menopause symptoms. She's feeling much better, sleeping better. She was sleeping horrible before, lost around 12 pounds. But it's not even about that for me. It's about this, just like the shift in her energy and how now she has an abundance of leads coming in. No, she's not paying for advertising or anything like that, but because we did a full energy shift with her on like who she was, right? Because she was living in this fear and lack. So that's one I love to share because I know we have a lot of realtors listening to this.
Yeah, totally. I love it.
All the realtors who come into our program, who come to us for fat loss and gut health optimization, all make more money, all sell more homes, double, tripling their business because they feel better. They have more energy. If you are so exhausted that you can't make decisions, you can't show up sharply, maybe you're not showing up on camera, as a realtor in this day and age, maybe not as much on Maui, but I know for Oahu and other places in the country, like you need to be on video, you need to be showing up. And if you don't feel good, you don't feel like showing up because you're too tired or you don't like the way you look, it's impacting your business. So all these little things playing into it. So
I get it. And again, some of it's so much and overwhelming that people just give up and don't do anything. Like a lot of times you're so overwhelming. You don't even know where to begin, where to start. And it just seems so much work that you just give in to your natural behavior, which is to just do what you do best, which is grind and put your nose down. And you're right. You stay in this survival kind of tactical mode.
Survival mode. Yeah.
Yep. And it's not healthy by any means. So the idea behind this, everybody, if you're listening, is that you too can actually have a very flourishing and loving and abundant life, that you're not running 100 miles an hour, working 24/7, 365, stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious. You could shift your energy, learn to be healthier, enjoy things you love doing, have passion still, live out your life, and still be very financially savvy.
Yeah, still plenty successful. Listen, my husband's a realtor. I'm friends with a ton of realtors. Most of my clients are realtors. I understand the schedule, but you're making a choice to say yes to everything. You're making a choice to say no to you, so it all comes down to your choices. Always.
Yep. Starts with you, ends with you, always has, always will. That's my theory. So you're right. Totally does. So
picture yourself 5 years from now. If you keep going at this pace, what is it going to look like for you? Because listen, I love money. We all love money. We know realtors love making money, but all the money in the world is useless if you're not enjoying yourself while you're making it, or while you're on vacation, covering yourself up, or taking naps the whole time because you can't be present with your family.
Yeah. Or dead. I mean, if we go to the worst case, you could die. I mean, obviously.
Okay, worst case. So, all right, there's that.
Worst case. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Worst case is you could play all this out. It's like people who save all their money for their entire life to actually live off the money and live their life when they're older. Then all of a sudden something happens and they end up dying, or health-wise, right? And
it's like, coming with you, they say.
Wow. Yeah. You waited your whole life to live your life, and now you're not even able to live your life. So I think, worst case scenario is you work up so hard and you build yourself up and you create so much stress that you could potentially put yourself in physical and nutritionally harm, where you could die. So I mean, again, that's dramatic. But my point is, this is a simple facet that we can really plug in, easy things that you can apply and add to your business right now and start changing. If it's one thing, and she'll be with us this month, June 25th. We will start off the Trinity of Transformation. We're excited to kick off. It'll be something we're going to continue on, the three of us here, moving the rest of the year into next year. I mean, this is not over. The whole You Matter series was something designed to go on and continue on until I die. Knock on wood. It's going to be moved on. But we're here to help you guys grow your business, to elevate you, to help you evolve, to be better people.
Tactical, we're going to talk high level. I'm going to give, and just like you, we're going to give you things that you can implement immediately, right? I don't want you to just come on the 25th and be like, cool, that was great. Now what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to give you things that you could we'll do them on the spot there. I'm going to take you through some things, and then also that you can take with you. So know that if you're coming, you're, coming over from Maui or you're in Oahu, that you will get tactical from all of us, which I think is important. You'll walk away from the workshop with like, okay, I can actually do these things.
Yeah. And again, though, the choice is yours. The choice is yours to decide if you're going to do something. So we will give you all the actionable items. You're going to have to really be choosing to do it. So yeah, but that's hopefully why we are going to give them this idea to look at things from a different lens, to look at it from a different perspective, to change and shift your mindset, your energy that will want to encourage you to make that choice because you are worth it. The whole entire series is that you matter. You matter series is why we call it that, because you do matter and you got to really start making choices for yourself. Healthier ones, better ones, boundary ones, all the above. So Coach Ange, I'm super excited to have you part of the group. I can't wait to have you out here this month. I keep saying next month, but it's literally, we're in June. I don't know why I keep saying that, but we are in June. It's literally going to be into this month and moving forward for the rest of this term of our Growing the You Matter series. And a great way to showcase you out here. And I'm glad hopefully those who are listening gets a good glimpse of what Coach Ange is about and get more even excited when you come see her in person, because she's even more energetic in person if you haven't seen her, because we're obviously in a podcast. So you're just hearing her. So yeah, we're excited to have you.
Yeah. And I love the in-person energy. And yeah, if you guys want to DM me beforehand, if you have any questions or anything at the Angelica Ventrese on Instagram, feel free to ask me anything, pick my brain, and I'll meet you guys in Oahu.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Everybody, we appreciate you always plugging in and chiming into these great podcasts. And we're super stoked to have you part of the group, Coach. So we'll look forward to seeing it. Everybody have an amazing day and go out and make some better choices that actually improve your life today. That's what we're going to leave you with today. Love you all. Appreciate you. Respect you. One and same.